Welcome back to another episode of ChadrickTech. Today, it's not going to be a long video, but I really wanted to get this out here because I was seeing other comments and I thought maybe it was just me. And I was like, well, don't get in your feelings. Don't make it a big deal. But I was seeing it a lot. And I thought maybe I'll just point it out and see if anybody else feels the same way or thinks the same way as I do right now, is that there was a lot of nice Black Friday sales this year, and for technology anyway. This is one of the years that I took a break from buying car parts and thought about buying more computer components. So that's actually a little cheaper for me, which is nice. Um, One of the things that I was sort of waiting, and as I was building this channel, I, I've made mention of it before. I don't have sponsors yet, so all the hardware and all the products and everything that they've come out of my pocket. No discounts. So I'm always looking to try to, build the business. As you can imagine, buying all these GPUs, it's it's not cheap, and I'm starting to question the return on investment. But anywho, what I was waiting on is that I have in my channel, I've had the opportunity to test a lot of cards, and I've been very blessed in terms of being able to get my hands on some cards to really get my database going. And I'm getting a database to publish it. But right now I'm in the middle of all this other testing with the AM5 platform. So I've got kind of two things going at the same time, one employee. So um, what I've got on the channel, I've got a 5090 is what we're working on right now, and it's really what a great card. And I've also have a 5070 Ti, which was in the office rig for a long time, and I really like that card. Matter of fact, I like it so much I don't own a 5080. I think it's right on par with the 5080, and I don't see good financial sense of spending the extra money on a 5080 when the 5070 Ti is right there, and then you get a 5090. It's 5070 Ti or 5090. The 5080 kind of gets left out to me. And I wanted to up the repertoire and finish sort of a few pieces. Like I didn't have any of the lower end 50 series cards, and I really didn't want to buy them, but I know that I should probably have some for testing purposes as the channel grows. You got to plan, you got to stay focused, right? And so I'm like, well, nobody wants those bloody 8 gig cards, but and a 5070. Now it catches heat for being only a 12 gig card. And you can see that I was waiting really for the 50 Super series. So I was going to go ahead and, because they projected that it was coming out first quarter and it was going to be about the same MSRP. Well, we've known now that with all the RAM prices and with the AI boom and all these data centers popping up, RAM prices, VRAM prices, all that stuff is really in question. And now I'm not 100% sure that we're going to get our 50 series, super series cards. And it's now in theory to be postponed to quarter three. Maybe that allows this whole AI thing to settle down a little bit. I'm hopeful. But what do you do in the meantime? Because I'm trying to run a business here on a tight budget. So I was wanting to get the 5080 Super and the 5070 Super, and that would give me a really nice rounded out. And then when I found a good deal on a 5060 Ti or a 5060 card, then I would have a lower end card that is still popular, a good mid range, and I'd stick with my 5090, and then I would have, as you've seen in my channel, an 80 and 90 series card to do testing with, because I have from the 30 series, I've got the 3080, 3090. I've got a 1080 Ti, 2080, 3080, 3090, two 3080s, a 4080, a 4090, and now I've got a 5090. So I still needed the 5080 to round out the progression. And I was trying to buy into some like the 5070 Super and tread out into there a little bit. Now with the pricing and delayed release, not sure if it's going to even happen at all. Maybe I was sort of questioning if I found good deals, maybe I should just snag one. So that left me trying. I mean, I've been on Newegg, and I've seen some comments about how difficult it was to get the doorbuster deals on Newegg, and I didn't think anything of it at first, but I've been a fan of Newegg. I know that over the years they've kind of taken some hits. They were the shop for a long time. I've been a member of Newegg for 21 years, and a lot of systems over 21 years. I first looked at the 5068 gig for 199, and I'm like, I don't really want a 5068 gig, but I do need one for the business to do testing, productivity, to round out the database. Maybe I should snag that. And I tried, missed it. Okay, I wasn't upset about that. I'm like, well, didn't really need it. It's okay. Wasn't meant to be. I looked at the 5070 12 gig, and at 450, I'm like, well, that's not a great discount. That's 550 was the MSRP. I realize gigabyte partner cards may vary, but I sort of stick to that original MSRP. Like it's not a great discount there, but I still wasn't able to get that card. Okay, not tore up about that because that really wasn't a great price, right? So there's two that I missed. This one, I set alarms. Like if I was ever going to get a 5060, not only is it just a 5060, it's a TI. I know it's an 8 gig card, but it's a 5060 Ti and only at $100. The business can swing that. Let's grab that card. I set alarms. I loaded up my credit card. I was going to pay for it. I was ready to go, and I'm looking and clicking and looking, clicking, refresh, click, click, click. Missed it. I was not happy about that one. So now I'm 0 for 3. Right? It's like, daggone it. How did I miss that? Like, it was there a second ago. What happened? Like, talk about popular. Well, good for you, Newegg. So today, 5070 OC for $299. I was like, well, even if the 50 Series Super comes out, if I snag one of these cards, I'll just let the Super Series go, try to grab something else. Still was looking at maybe getting a 5080 Super because I need a 5080 at some point. Just get a discount here. And I was, again, set an alarm, waiting, and I'm in the Eastern time zone. So 11:59, clicking, refreshing, clicking, refreshing. As soon as noon hit, I didn't even get the notice on my phone that the sales were live. I mean, every other time I got a notice saying that, hey, by the way, doorbusters are open and best of luck, they're gone, right? Within a minute, it was sold out. How many cards did they have? And so now I'm seeing comments about this is ridiculous. People are really upset over it. I'm starting to wonder, like, if they're that popular, that's great, NVIDIA. Great job. Um, but, I guess now I'm at the mercy of any future sale, or God forbid, if the Super Series finally does come out, maybe I wasn't meant to get any of those cards. And I certainly hope that the people that got those cards really needed those cards, and that was the card that they needed to have for their system. And if that's the case, I don't want to be someone who goes out and grabs a card that somebody else really does need. I don't want to be that guy because I'm trying to run a business and I'm stockpiling cards because I need to test. Like, if somebody else really needed that for their budget, I hope, and I would love to think that everybody who got those deals really was excited. Merry Christmas. I needed it for my system build. This is my card. And that's how I have to think about it, because the other part of me is very upset that bots are still running the world in terms of GPU acquisition, and the regular Johnny consumer just gets thrown under the bus. I mean, Newegg doesn't necessarily care. They sold a product, right? And I don't know how you combat the bots, if it really is that, if it isn't that. I don't know. But it's been disappointing, and I saw a lot of comments about maybe that's what was going on, what's going on in Newegg. Did they just have one or two cards, and they used that to drum up Like the one I was so upset, I almost decided to not buy the hard drive. But I mean, like that's just stupid. Don't get so emotional about it. I'm like, that's the deal. You've got a deal. Just get your hard drive and move on with your life. Don't be so ego invested that you didn't get the cheap GPU. But I've come to terms with it. But then I started seeing a lot of other people have similar complaints, and I'm like, maybe I didn't blow it out of proportion. Maybe there really is something there, or maybe other people just was emotional at the time, like me. I don't know, but maybe I hope everybody out there is getting the cards and the parts and peripherals that you desire for your system. Hopefully, things are going well for you and your family. Wish you nothing but the best. Stay safe. God bless.